Hey guys, it's Lisa, and today I'm doing a video from the car. I finally got me a camera holder for my phone, so I thought that I would do some vlogs from the car because I just thought that would be fun to do. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm backing out right now. And it's kind of muddy because it's been raining here forever. I am so tired of the rain. And I know we needed it, but I think we've now gotten what we needed. So I'm done. So the video I was going to do today is the Q&A. The last video I done, I asked you guys to give me some questions. And I would do the answers on the next video. So I got quite a few questions, and then I also chose some from the TMI tag to add to this. So that's what I thought I would do. And I have a list. So I kind of remember the questions, but just to be on the safe side, I thought I'd just have my little list here and go down them. I think there's about 21 questions. So we will go ahead and get started. So the first one is my favorite thing to do when relaxing. So I guess that would probably be watch TV, snuggle up with my dogs, and just spend time with my husband. That's my favorite relaxing thing to do. I love it when it's cold. You know, snuggle up and watch a good movie, or like when it's raining like this, I love to just snuggle up and not have to leave the house. And yeah, that's my best relaxing scenario right there. Number two, what kind of movies do I like? I like all kinds of movies, really. I love scary movies, old ones and new ones. I love comedies. I love dramas. I really just like all kinds of movies. The ones that I probably, well, I like a lot of action movies too. So the ones that I'd like the least, I guess, would be westerns. There are westerns that I do like, but not a whole lot of them. So other than westerns, I'm good to go pretty much. So do you have any silly little secrets that you can tell us that we don't know about you? So I guess one thing is I'm double jointed. I don't know if any of you guys know that. Excuse me. When I was a kid, I used to love the fact that I was double jointed. I thought it was so cool. But as I get older, it gets less cool because, you know, your joints get wore out. They start hurting. But I can show you, like on my hand, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, my thumb goes all the way down. That's normally not something that people do. If I wasn't driving, I could show you some other things. But yeah, I'm pretty much double jointed all over. So that's the little fun thing about me, I guess. Number four, do I have kids? I do not have kids. I can't have children. I do have 2 dogs, though, that are my fur babies. So, yeah, it just worked out that way. When I first found out I couldn't have kids, it was a difficult situation, but I've kind of worked through that. And I just feel like some people just aren't meant to have children, and I guess that I'm one of them, so I'm okay with that. Hobbies would be YouTube is one of them. I used to play a lot of Texas Hold'em. I love poker, and I still play, but I only play online for no money. It's just free. And the reason for that is, you know, I've always heard that, you know, gambling is a sin, and I didn't ever really understand how playing poker was a sin, and then I realized exactly what it was by listening to Adrian Rogers. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. He's passed away now, but you can go to Love Worth Finding and listen to his past sermons and all that. And I really like him. He's very easy to follow. But he explained it to me better than anybody ever has. And it's just that, you know, you're not supposed to covet your neighbor's belongings or want what others have. And you go into a poker game with the intentions that you want that other person's money, so you're coveting their money, and that's where the sin comes in. You know, in order for one person to win, somebody has to come out a loser. And even though they're going in with that intent as well, and they know that that is a possibility, you are still after that person's money. So that's where the sin comes from. So it was hard for me to give it up, but I haven't played poker for money in a long time. But I still like to play, so I do play a little video game on my computer, but it's free, so there's no coveting there. It's just, you know, if you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. No money exchange, nothing like that. So, favorite movies. One of my favorite movies, let's see, I've got a couple, I guess. Mommy Dearest is one of my favorite movies. Pretty Woman is one of my favorites. All of the Nightmare on Elm Street and Jason movies. The Conjuring movies I like. Let's see. Man, I just really have a lot of favorites. The Pianist I like. Schindler's List I like. Those are probably my biggest favorites. I know that I'm probably leaving some out, but those are the ones off the top of my head. Favorite books. My most favorite book in the whole world is Go Ask Alice. It's not a very thick book. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of it before, but it's a diary of a teenage girl back in the 70s that gets introduced into drugs. She's not about that life at all, and she just comes about it through a friend, and she gets addicted to opiates or heroin, and it's just talking about her struggle trying to get off the drugs, and it's her real diary, and it's a really, really good book. There's also a movie that came out in the 70s. The movie is pretty good too, but I prefer the book. That was one of the very first books that I ever read fully, and it's what really got me into reading books, and I really like it. I also like the Crossfire novels. I like 50 Shades of Grey. Anything really written by Sylvia Day. I like Stephen King a lot. So there's just a lot of books, just like there's a lot of movies that I like. So favorite thing about being a YouTuber, the best thing is just getting to talk to all of you guys and meeting new people. It has been so cool. You know, I have made a lot of friends all over the world doing YouTube, and it's been great. And you know, I'm still astonished that people like to watch me or listen to what I have to say or whatever. It's just amazing. So I really enjoy doing the videos, recording them. The editing, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think that I'm not going to edit my videos, and sometimes I don't cut anything out of them. I just add a beginning and end and do it to it. You know, it just depends. So, but yeah, the people are probably my favorite thing. Have I ever been in love? Yes. Have I had a terrible breakup? I mean, I guess it really depends on what you would call a terrible breakup. Like, I haven't ever had like a breakup that was, you know, physically or emotionally, like, you know, hollering at each other, cussing each other, or fighting. It's just been, you know, pretty amicable, or, you know, of course, not all parties want the breakup, but I mean, there's never been any tragic, horrible situation. I mean, I guess if I have to think about the worst breakup, it would probably be my first love. Because, I mean, you know, your first love is kind of tragic, and it's your first breakup, and, you know, it's hard to handle that. I guess, you know, that would be the worst one. How tall am I? I'm 5'2" on my good days. I aspire to be 5'6", but I'm only 5'2". Tattoos and piercings. I have a tattoo on my right calf. I have a tattoo on my left ankle, and it actually is 2 tattoos because I got a tattoo and I ended up not liking it years later and had it covered up with something else. And then I have a tattoo on my lower back. The lower back is a blue rose with some tribal writing. The one on my calf is a rose and a heart, and it says Daddy's little girl. And then the one on my ankle is a rose as well. Piercings. My ears are pierced on the lobes, and then they're pierced up here as well. I don't really wear earrings in them a lot. And then my tongue is pierced as well. Other than that, I don't have any other piercings. My favorite show would have to be Walking Dead. Favorite bands or music. I have a very widespread taste in music. I love a lot of different genres. I love rock and roll. I love country. I love heavy metal. I love Christian, pop. Rap is probably the one that I have the least amount of likes. There is some rap that I do like, but for the most part, it's probably the one that I like the least. Favorite bands, I guess, would be, my most favorite would probably be Megadeth, Metallica, the Judds, AC/DC. I also like Rob Zombie. Oh my gosh, The Who. Alice Cooper. I actually saw Megadeth several times. I got to meet Dave Mustaine. I actually have his autograph, and I actually hugged him. It was so wonderful. I didn't expect him to be so tall, but he is so, which everybody's tall for me, but he was a lot taller than I expected. And he smelled like sugar cookies, which was a very funny situation, but it was wonderful. So I was so nervous that after the concert they were signing CDs, and you go up and there's 3 of them sitting at a table, and you pass the CD down and they sign it or whatever. And I pushed the CD in front of Dave Mustaine, and he's sitting there and he looks at the CD and he looks at me. And he looks at the CD and he looks at me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, he's not going to sign my CD. And he's like, did you like the show? And I was like, yeah. And he said, have you ever been before? And I was like, no. And he just kept looking down at my CD, and I thought, he's not going to sign it because everybody else's he seemed to sign right away. So after he finally signed it, I was like, can I get a hug? And he was like, oh, sure. And he gets up and he comes across the table and like towers me, and I was like, in heaven. So yeah, that was a pretty good situation. My age, I am 37. My sign, I am a Scorpio. My birthday's October the 28th. Fears, I have a fear of clowns. They scare me to death. I don't know why anybody would want a clown for a birthday, at their child's birthday, or anything like that. They are the scariest things, I think. Clowns and spiders. I'm terrified of spiders. Another thing that I'm scared of that people think is so funny, but I can't help it, and that's cows. They freak me out, and stink bugs. The last time I said I love you was just a minute ago before I started this video. Told my mom I loved her. In my family, we always tell everybody that we love each other when we get off the phone, when we leave each other's presents. Me and my husband do the same thing. That's just the way I was brought up. You always tell everybody that you love them. The last show I watched was Ozzy and Jack's World Detour. Ozzy Osbourne and his son Jack are going around to historic sites all over the world. It is so funny. Ozzy is so funny. In one of the episodes, he holds up a skull and it doesn't have a body attached, it's just a skull. And he starts singing, I ain't got nobody, like I don't have no one, but it just doubled for I ain't got nobody. I cracked up. I just think that's so funny. The last person I talked to was my mom, and instruments that I play. I am learning to play the piano. My husband got me a keyboard for Christmas. I had been wanting one because I wanted to learn how to play. Because I love music and I used to love to sing. I don't think that I was, very good at it, but I used to love to sing. And then after I got sick and got the trach and everything, it kind of tore my voice up a little bit, and it's very hard for me to hit certain notes that I used to be able to hit. And with my breathing, of course, it's very hard for me to sing long-winded songs or whatever. So since it became difficult for me to sing, I decided that I still wanted to do something with music, and I decided I wanted to learn how to play the piano. Because my husband plays guitar. He is like one of the most talented guitarists I think I've ever heard. He's just so good. That's actually how I met him. He played in a band, and my friend was dating the lead singer, and she wanted me to go with her to band practice and watch them practice. And she asked me and asked me and asked me, and I kept turning her down, and finally I said, okay. And I walked in, and there was my husband sitting there on a stool, and I think we might have said 3 words to each other the whole night. And then when I got home that night, my friend had called me back and said that he wanted to know if I would go out with him on a date. And I said yes, and we've been together ever since. So it was almost like it was meant to be. So I love him more today than I did when we first started, dating. I seem to love him more and more every day. And I know he loves me very much. There's no doubt about it. So, all right, guys, I will stop rambling on. That was all of my questions. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'm sure I'll do more of these sometime. So if there was any questions that you guys had that I didn't answer, then you can comment those below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. God bless, and ciao.